The Knights Templar were a Catholic military order founded around 1118 during the Crusades to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to Jerusalem. They answered only to the Pope and their Grand Master. The order gained strong support from powerful figures across Europe, allowing them to recruit members and accumulate large donations of land and money. But 90% of members were non-combatants who managed their economic network. They developed early banking practices, issuing letters of credit to pilgrims so they could deposit money in Europe and withdraw it in the Holy Land, while also managing assets for nobles involved in the Crusades, known as highly skilled fighters. Their training combined strict monastic discipline with daily martial practice. They served as the vanguard or rear guard of Crusader armies. At the Battle of Montesa, they fought with Baldwin IV of Jerusalem, defeating the much larger army of Saladin. Their resilience was shown after the Battle of Hattin, when Saladin executed around 200 captured Templars, but the order carried on. At the siege of Tomar in Portugal, they defended against a large Almohad army. At the Battle of Arsuf, fighting under Richard the Lionheart, they led charges that helped defeat Saladin's army. In 1291, they fought in the Siege of Acre, the final major battle of the Crusader states, where the city fell to the Mamluks, and the Crusaders were forced to retreat. Support for the Templars then declined, and criticism for their failure grew. Their wealth also made them a target. King Philip IV of France, facing financial problems, accused the Templars of crimes, including spitting on the cross, trampling images of Christ, and engaging in illicit acts between members. In 1307, he ordered the arrest of many Templars in France, where they were tortured into false confessions and some were burned at the stake. Investigations in other countries where torture wasn't used found little evidence for these accusations. Under pressure from Philip, Pope Clement V dissolved the order in 1312. The sudden downfall of the Knights Templar later fueled speculation that some members escaped with hidden treasures or secret knowledge. The Knights Hospitaller were founded in the 12th century in Jerusalem and initially just ran a hospital for Christian pilgrims, but soon it provided armed escorts. Grand Master Raymond Dupuy organized the order into a militia. Recruits mainly came from France, England, Bohemia and Hungary. Most members were also trained as combat medics and built hospitals near battle lines. They developed a reputation as highly disciplined and deadly warriors, often considered stronger than the Knights Templar. Known for their sword skills, siege defense, and coordinated tactics between infantry and cavalry, they retreated only on command. They fought in over 25 battles during the Crusades, like the Siege of Acre or the Battle of Arsuf. They also fought alongside Richard the Lionheart against Saladin and helped save Baldwin IV's army at Montesa. After losing Jerusalem and Acre, the order moved to Rhodes and later Malta. They fought in the failed Battle of Nicopolis in 1396 against the Ottomans. At the Siege of Rhodes in 1522, they surrendered to Suleiman the Magnificent after a 6-month defense. In the Great Siege of Malta in 1565, about 700 knights and 8,000 men defended the island against roughly 40,000 Ottomans. The order remained a naval power fighting Ottoman corsairs like at the Battle of Lepanto. The Teutonic Order was founded in 1190 in Acre, mainly by German members, to aid pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. Like other Crusader orders, they were warrior monks who followed strict vows of brotherhood, chastity, poverty, and obedience within a rigid hierarchy. After the Crusaders lost territory in the Holy Land, the order shifted to the Northern Crusades, targeting the Old Prussians, Lithuanians, and other Baltic peoples. They also helped defend the Kingdom of Hungary from the Cumans, but were expelled after attempting to establish their own state in Transylvania. Through bloody campaigns, the order created one of the most militarized states in medieval Europe, with cities built as a fortress network and massive castles like Marienburg. They later joined major crusading campaigns, including the Battle of Nicopolis against the Ottoman Empire. After Lithuania converted to Christianity, their original mission of fighting pagans disappeared, but they continued campaigns against Christian Poland and Lithuania. By 1407, the order reached its greatest extent, but their power collapsed in 1410 at the Battle of Tannenberg or Grunwald, where a Polish-Lithuanian army defeated them and killed much of their leadership. In 1525, the order was secularized during the rise of Protestantism, which gutted its power. Their former state later evolved into Prussia, which became the military core of the German Empire. The order still exists today as a religious organization. The Order of Saint Lazarus was founded in the 1130s as a smaller Catholic military and charitable order focused on caring for people with leprosy and defending the Holy Land. Many of its knights had contracted leprosy themselves. The order operated hospitals and leprosaria while fighting alongside the Templars and Hospitallers, known for extreme bravery. They took part in the Battle of Forby in 1244 against the Ayyubids, where all of the order's leper knights present were killed. They also fought at the Battle of Al-Mansura in 1250, where King Louis IX was captured, and later helped defend the city during the Siege of Acre. After the fall of Acre, the order abandoned military activity and relocated to Cyprus, then Sicily and back to France. During the French Revolution, they went into exile. The Order of the Holy Sepulchre was one of the earliest Christian orders formed after the First Crusade. Established by Godfrey of Bouillon after the capture of Jerusalem, it protected Christian pilgrims and guarded the newly liberated tomb of Christ. In 1103, Baldwin I, the first king of Jerusalem, led the order. Its main role was to defend the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and other holy sites under the authority of the King of Jerusalem. Unlike larger orders such as the Templars or Hospitallers, it was not a large field army. After the First Crusade, most of the order returned to Europe. It began declining around 1182 and ceased functioning in a military role after the fall of Acre. But the order still exists through priories in Europe today. The Order of Alcántara was founded in the 12th century to defend the southern borders of Christian Spain against the Moors during the Reconquista. Over time it became powerful, gaining many castles and estates through conquest, donations and war booty. At the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa, the order supported a decisive victory over the Almohads. Between 1221 and 30, it was crucial in the conquest of Extremadura, capturing key Moorish strongholds. But by the 14th century, the order faced serious internal problems. The position of Grand Master became highly contested, leading to repeated power struggles, where some leaders were deposed by their own knights. These conflicts, the Black Death, and the gradual retreat of Moorish forces from the peninsula weakened the order. Division increased during the civil war between Pedro of Castile and his brother Henry the Bastard, when the knights split into two rival factions. Eventually, the order was incorporated into the Spanish crown by Ferdinand II in 1493, and knights were allowed to marry. The order still exists today. The Livonian Brothers of the Sword were a Catholic military order founded in 1202 by Bishop Albert during the Livonian Crusade. Their mission was to convert the pagan peoples of Livonia, roughly modern Latvia, Lithuania and Estonia, to Christianity and defend the city of Riga. They were warrior monks from northern Germany who fought Baltic and Finnic pagans. Unlike the Templars or Teutonic Knights, they had almost no financial backing or estates in Europe, forcing them to fund their campaigns by exploiting local peasants while expanding rapidly. They developed a reputation for extreme aggression, even defeating a papal legate and his forces. Their motto: "The sword is our pope." Despite never having more than 180 knights, they managed to conquer and control big parts of the eastern Baltic. They were unique for their winter warfare, using frozen rivers and lakes to move armies through impassable terrain. But after a major defeat at the Battle of Saul in 1236, where Samogitian and Semi-Gallian forces destroyed much of their order, they were absorbed by the Teutonic Order. The Knights of Calatrava were founded in 1158 in Spain to defend the fortress of Calatrava near the border of Muslim-ruled Al-Andalus. Formed by Cistercian monks and Navarrese soldiers, the order combined monastic discipline with military service. Strict fasting, silence, and even sleeping in armor were required. In 1212, they helped recapture Calatrava and fought in the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa, a major victory over the Almohad Caliphate that became a turning point in the Reconquista. Over time, the order expanded, establishing commanderies across the Kingdom of Castile and other parts of Spain with 200,000 members. They later fought at the Battle of Rio Salado in 1340, a decisive victory over the Marinid dynasty that marked the last major Muslim invasion in Christian Iberia. Most of the order's power faded by the 15th century. The Order of Santiago was founded around 1170 in Spain. Its main purpose was to protect pilgrims traveling the way of St. James to Santiago de Compostela, defend Christian territories and fight the Muslim Moors during the Reconquista. Unlike other orders, the Knights of Santiago were not monastic. Members could marry and own property, but they enforced strict blood purity, demanding proof of noble lineage and Christian ancestry. The order was key in the conquest of Seville in 1248, expanding Christian rule into Andalusia. Their Portuguese branch led the conquest of the Algarve between 1234 and 49, which effectively completed the Reconquista in Portugal. In 1522 it was annexed by the Spanish crown, but the order still exists today. The Order of Montesa was founded in 1317 by King James II of Aragon after the suppression of the Knights Templar. It was created to manage former Templar lands and defend the Crown of Aragon against the Moors. Its main role was protecting the frontier, especially in the Kingdom of Valencia. The Knights took part in regional border conflicts against the Emirate of Granada and fought Barbary pirates near the Aragonese coast. After the Reconquista ended, the order declined in importance and was incorporated into the Spanish crown. The Military Order of Avis was founded in 1146 by King Afonso of Portugal. It defended Portugal from Moorish forces and had close ties to the Order of Calatrava. The order fought during the final stages of the Reconquista, including the siege of Alcácer do Sal in 1217 and the siege of Faro in 1249, which drove the Moors out of the Algarve. At the Battle of Aljubarrota in 1385, Grand Master João of Avis led Portuguese forces to defeat a much larger Castilian army, securing Portugal's independence. João later became King João I, founding the House of Avis, which ruled during the height of the Portuguese Age of Discovery. The order later took part in early overseas campaigns, including the capture of Ceuta in 1415, which began Portuguese expansion into Africa. After the abolition of religious orders in Portugal in 1834, following the Civil War, the order lost its properties. The Military Order of Christ was founded around 1318 in Portugal as a successor to the Knights Templar. When the Templars were suppressed and persecuted across Europe, King Denis of Portugal refused to disband them and instead created a new order as a refuge for surviving Templar Knights. The order continued to struggle against Muslim forces in the Iberian Peninsula during the later stages of the Reconquista. It later also supported the Order of Avis in overseas campaigns into Africa. Over time, the Order of Christ became a major economic power in Portugal. It was secularized in 1789 but continues to exist. The Order of Mountjoy was founded around 1180 in the Kingdom of Aragon to protect pilgrims in the Iberian Peninsula. During the Third Crusade, its knights fought at the Battle of Hattin in 1187, where none survived. After internal disputes and leadership issues, in 1196 a dissident group formed the Order of Montfreg, while Aragonese members joined the Knights Templar. In 1221, the Order of Montfreg was incorporated into the Order of Calatrava. The Militia of the Faith of Jesus Christ was a military order formed in southern France in 1221 during the Albigensian Crusade to combat Catharism and Waldensianism, Christian sects deemed dangerous by the Catholic Church. Unlike established military orders, it was a loose association of knights, soldiers, and commoners without vows of poverty or chastity. Its members mainly provided support to the main crusading forces rather than acting as a primary fighting unit. But they also served as inquisitors for the Catholic Church, identifying and rooting out heretics in the region. The order was eventually absorbed into the Third Order of Saint Dominic. The Knights of the Cross with the Red Star were founded in 1233 by Princess Agnes of Bohemia. The order focused on hospital work and social welfare, and although members could bear arms, they didn't participate in large-scale campaigns. However, during the 15th century Hussite Wars, they defended hospitals and commanderies in West Bohemia, suffering losses and property destruction. They also supported the Bohemian crown in local conflicts and established major bases in Silesia and Moravia. In 1948, after the communist coup in Czechoslovakia, the order was suppressed, monasteries closed, and many knights imprisoned. Today, the order remains active in the Czech Republic and Austria. The Order of Saint Stephen was a Crusader-style maritime order modeled after the Knights Hospitaller, founded in 1561 in Tuscany by Cosimo I de' Medici, with approval from the Pope. Its mission was to defend Mediterranean coasts and trade routes against the Ottoman Empire and the North African Barbary pirates. The order took part in the Siege of Malta, the Battle of Lepanto, which ended Ottoman naval dominance, and the capture of Bona in 1607 in modern-day Algeria. After reaching its peak in the 17th century, it shifted from an active fighting force into an honorary institution. The former Kingdom of Italy didn't recognize it, but it still exists today. The Knights of St. Thomas were the only military order founded specifically for Englishmen during the Crusades. Established in 1191 at Acre and dedicated to St. Thomas Becket, the order safeguarded Christian pilgrims and defended territories in the Holy Land. Members focused on caring for the sick, burying fallen English crusaders, and raising funds to ransom English captives held by Saladin. They also fought in the Fifth Crusade and the Siege of Acre. After Acre fell, the order moved to London. Over time, its military role declined and it continued as a religious institution. Eventually, the order was secularized and its assets went to secular rulers or other religious organizations.